Beautiful side, isn't it? It's pretty nice out here, actually. I decided to come out and work on some homework, and film this video. I was watching another YouTube channel, recently, and he was talking about the uh, future release of the next generation of consoles. The PS4, the Xbox 720, as people are calling it, and the Wii U. We've seen some pretty revolutionary ideas put forward, from Sony only allowing downloadable content to maybe the end of used gaming. And it got me thinking, what would the backlash be if Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo decided to go with these routes? And it came to the conclusion, I think it would basically be the end of console gaming. And I say that it might be the end of console gaming because myself, as a gamer, and other gamers I would know, aren't exactly too happy with those notions. I mean, we all, I have to admit, I'm a huge NCAA football fan. I get the games every year. But sometimes I like to wait and maybe get it for $50 instead of 60 and wait till it comes out used. I've done this with a couple games. Just waited for them to come out or waited for them to come out as used games. Recently I did this with Modern Warfare 3. Waited till Christmas when they dropped the price. And if Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft decided to make all of their games, exclusive downloadable contents and charge a full price for one, I mean, we're going to see that is going to hurt a lot of gamers. Because, let's face it, not everyone can afford to throw down $60 on a new game. Sometimes we have to wait a little bit so we can get our finances in order. Especially if, you're a low-level YouTube partner like I am, and you're not making any money from it. And you have to still work another job in order to get the games. And even then, the job cuts into the time you're actually going to be enjoying it. So when you look at $60 for a game that you might not even get any money back out of if you don't like it, if, you know, because I say that because if places such as GameStop can't buy and sell used games, or can't sell used games, they're not going to buy used games from a consumer. Recently, I just sold Uncharted 3, and I was never a big fan of the Uncharted series in the first place. It came with my new PS3. I sold that back to GameStop for $30, and that helped me buy a new game that I actually wanted. Now, if GameStop didn't accept those used games and they couldn't make a profit off of them, I'm out $30, gang. And it would really hurt me to see that Sony would go that route, because it would probably make me not want to buy one of their products, or PlayStation 4 if it is so released. And the downloadable content thing, that's more or less to go against that used game theory as well. Because we see in games, you can't get online unless you have an online pass for that game, which may or may not exist in a used game. Which is also disheartening to fans, because if you want to buy a Call of Duty and you don't want to wait and you don't want to spend the $60, you may not know if you're going to like it, and you maybe only want to put $30 on a used game, you're not going to be able to play online if you don't have that online pass, which kind of upsets the downloadable community, the downloadable argument too. And another reason that the downloadable content is a bad idea, internet speeds vary all over the place. Um, when the PlayStation Network went down and you were allowed to download two free games, I downloaded Little Big Planet and Infamous. Little Big Planet took about 3 or 4 hours. Infamous was going to take closer to 11. and I have a pretty good Wi-Fi connection, pretty good internet connection. Just think of someone in, Wyoming who's trying to play this, who just bought a game off the PlayStation Network and trying to download a game. It could be literally days before he's able to enjoy that game. And I hope Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft really listen to the gaming community, because if they don't and they go forward with these measures, you're probably going to see a very steep decline in the console gaming business, and probably a increase in the mobile gaming, such as like on your iPhone or your iPad or an Android phone. And that could potentially put some of these companies under. It's it's just not a good idea for these companies to do this. It's not a profitable strategy. But enough doom and gloom for now. I'm gonna switch to something I want to talk about, and that's my most anticipated game of 2012. Now I had to narrow it down a bit between, and my finalists were NCAA 13 with its revamped passing and revamped AI, Madden 13 with the same thing, NBA 2K13, which I decided to boycott 2K12 because of the NBA lockout, Borderlands 2, and Black and White 2 in the Pokemon series. Now I'm a huge fan of all those series, but I decided that my most anticipated game of 2012 is going to be Borderlands 2, and I'll tell you why. I was a huge fan of Borderlands. In fact, when I picked up on the game and decided to get it, I got the Advanced Game of the Year edition came with a poster. Still have that poster hanging up in my room, and that's about a year and a half ago. And I was really excited when they announced Borderlands 2. With the revamped AI, the greater customization of your character and guns, I really think that Borderlands 2 is going to take everything they brought forward and everyone loved in the original game, and make more out of it in Borderlands 2. And I'm really excited for that. I'm also really excited to see the game is more story driven, and I'm excited to see where you can't dilly dally on missions. You're gonna have to get something done, or else it affects the game. It's a dynamic storyline. I'm a really big fan of those. So for those reasons, Borderlands 2 is gonna be my most anticipated game of the year. I'm sure I'm gonna do a review. I'm gonna do a review on it when it comes out, but that's not till September. So just looking ahead. I'm gonna keep trying to turn out these videos, especially I get out of school this week, so I'll be able to keep it up. So, Sway's out.